Thanks, Sudha, for calling me here. It's a real opportunity to meet up with youngsters in the field of media and to teach them what they should be. What is the word diet? What does it bring to your mind? Usually when we say dietitian, immediately they'll say, oh, you go there, they will say, don't eat this, don't eat that. See, this is a myth I want to first break, because we are there to talk about diet, and what is diet is what you eat. I'm here to tell you because we stand as the global capital, India, of cardiac disease. Out of every 10 of us, 1 of us is going to have cardiac disease, age no bar, caste no bar, economic level no bar. And we stand second globally for diabetes. Diabetes was a disease which we thought used to affect somebody who's rich, somebody who works hard, somebody who's like 60 plus. Today it starts at age, even when the child is born. That's not the diabetes we are talking about. We are talking about a diabetes which comes to people because of some lifestyle that they are leading. And that starts at age 13 in metro cities. So what we are trying to tell you is you are what you eat. That is the foundation, that is the fundamental of what you have in your body. So what is this changing urban nutrition scene which is affecting us? We are a traditional country, we are very cultural in what we do, but there are certain things we have changed, and one thing which we've changed a lot is the way we eat. So what are the lifestyle parameters? These are the various issues. One is sedentary lifestyle. We are in the remote age. We use, remotes for anything, even to open the door. That kind of situation we are in. So we are absolutely sedentary. If in any group we ask, is anybody really working hard? Among 1,000 people, maybe 1 or 2 who really exercise a lot. So sedentary lifestyle, too much of junk food, food eating out of packets or brought in food. Like in our questionnaires we used to ask, does anybody eat out often? But today we are rephrasing that question. Do you dial in often? Because that's the same thing, right? Many of us eat out at least 4 times a month. Can we put up hands?
Daily.
So look at the numbers. So in our country what happens? You eat out, there are 2 things. Let's just take the example of idli. I make idli at home, it's 30 to 40 calories. The moment I step out and have that idli, it jumps up to double the amount. 60 to 80 calories. Why? The way they make it. At home we grind both the flours. There they grind only the urad dal. We just add idli rice and they put soda and they make it. That's one. Second, it's a sin, isn't it? How can you eat out idli and not have vada, right? So automatically that comes in. Right? So there are a lot of people in the Marina Beach Walkers Association. They walk from 4 AM, they walk from home 3 AM, they go, all that they do. At 6, 7 o'clock or 5:36, they are at some restaurant having coffee, which is like tartipal. The milk has boiled for more than an hour. It's thick milk and the coffee plus it's pongal vada that they have. The diet is what we eat. The lipids, or all of us talk about a lipid profile. They talk about good cholesterol, bad cholesterol, all this kind of stuff, is because what you eat decides every one of those parameters. Your hypertension, do you have or not? Partly is because of your stress, but mostly it's because of the sodium you eat. If you see before, people used to eat a lot of pickles, papad, vattal, vadam, all this because they were agrarian in nature. They were out there in the sun. You continue to eat like that, all the rich high salt foods, but you stay in artificial environment. So you're not sweating at all, but apart from the normal salt that comes, you are also adding on with packaged foods, which are full of sodium in different forms. So that is why blood pressure again is hitting at age 18 and 19, not 40 and 50 as it was before. Obesity and diabetes are linked to each other. Today everything is linked to obesity because that is one of the major issues we are facing. We have, like today, most doctors say it's not enough for them to go around with a stethoscope. They need to go around with an inch tape because your waist measurement is very, very important. Weight is only one parameter. If you brought your mid-arm size a little less, few centimeters, even half a centimeter, it makes a huge difference to your lipid level. Your waist by half a centimeter makes a huge difference to prevention of heart attack or hypertension or your lipid level. So everything is important. So what are the basic things we need to look at? Body weight is only one parameter. Body mass index. This is a very, very interesting thing. This only gives you the total weight against height. Because when the BMI is high, there are people who swoon saying my BMI is totally out of this thing. But if your body fat is less and still your weight is high, you're still better than somebody else who has a high body fat and is thin. Right? So what we're trying to say is body weight is also important, BMI is also important, body fat is also important, and then comes your waist and hip ratio. So body fat is a very, very important parameter for which your waist measurement, your mid-arm, mid-thigh, these are the ones which help you measure body fat in very simple ways. What happens if you have a higher body mass index? Any of this can affect you. It can be cancer, it can be diabetes, it can be heart issues, it can be any of that. Hypertension. Hypertension is a silent killer. That's exactly where they're saying that excess fat is what shows. That's why a pear-shaped is bad rather than an apple-shaped, because you are having the extra fat in your abdomen, and having the fat in the abdomen is the worst thing. So what are the weight loss mistakes? If you skip breakfast, there's enough research to say, one, your mind is active, but you're not able to perform as much as you can. We've done in schools, we've done in IT sector, we've done in colleges at every level. So even if you have the mental capacity to perform, not even 50 to 55% of it you can do after 10:30 because your body doesn't have enough glucose. Second is, the moment you skip breakfast, your lunch is heavier than it is normal. Or by 11 o'clock, you're reaching out for some kind of junk to fill up your tummy. Because you're going to be at work, you cannot move off for a heavy lunch or heavy breakfast at that time. So you're going in for the wrong foods, whether it's biscuits or samosas or kachoris or whatever it is, bhaji, bonda, whatever it is. So these are the normal things which are had. So you're actually going to do the wrong things. So when you're coming to empty calories, that is what it is, junk food, whatever kind of junk food it can be. Even biscuits are classified under junk food, or chips, or the pizza, burger, or whatever it is. Then crash diets, this doesn't help because you'll crash with it. Because you're not going, it's not sustainable. You'll come down a few kilos, it's only water that you're losing, you'll get it all back in no time. Then weekend treats. Yes, we do allow weekend treats. But the size is important, and how often, you know, is it the whole weekend you're going to be treating yourself, or it's just one meal in the whole week? It depends. These meal replacements which have come today, where out of a glass you eat. See, eating is not just the calorie that it provides for your body. It's a psychological process. The mind should be happy, and it should satisfy you. Color, variety, so many things has to be there. And according to our traditional medicines, 5 different tastes also have to be covered. So if you look at any way that one little cup is not sustainable. There are people who use meal replacements, eat out of a cup, breakfast out of a cup, lunch out of a cup plus a cup of vegetables, dinner out of a cup plus something, but it's not sustainable. It will just crash. So once you come down that extra 10 kilos, if you put it back in full scale, that's called the yo-yo effect, which is not good for health at all. It is better to follow something which is sustainable, come down and maintain it. That's very important. What happens if you do not have a balanced diet? I already told you about deficiencies, infectious disease. You'll all be totally surprised. TB is coming in a big way. And they're going to start building sanatoriums to put back people because they don't have a cure for one strain of TB now. I remember my father saying that he had to say bye to his dad because he was in a TB sanatorium and there was no cure at that time. Within 2 generations, we'll come right back there, right? And one of the reasons is lack of proper diet. There are 5 very, very important food groups which we have to talk about. One is cereals. Second is protein, third is vegetables, fourth is fruit, and fifth is dairy. And the protein part can be dal or can be the non-vegetarian foods. So these 5 foods, every one of them are important. Just like without any of these fingers, we can't operate. So each one has a role to play, and it's important. And most people are not eating protein today, and that could be the reason. Like Sudha was mentioning, a lot of people have allergies today. One of the reasons could be your protein is so bad in your diet that it kickstarts these kind of problems. Today we live in such a clean environment, but the infectious diseases that we are getting, or the allergies we are getting incurable. Because in the system, we need these kind of organisms like probiotics. This is the word you're hearing buzz all through the media all the time. If we can set our curd and have it properly, we don't really have to go to the level of having these probiotic products. But today, who's setting curds? People don't even have time to set the curd at home. Do you believe this? The curd at home has 30,000 different organisms. Your probiotic products have 3 organisms. This is the trade-off you're getting. But today, because people are not eating, the number of organisms needs to be increased to fight an autoimmune disease or an allergy or something like that, and hence these products are being brought in for these kind of people. So we need to set our curd, we need to buy our lime, and we need to use it the right way, and it's as simple as that. So lifestyle related diseases are there, deficiency diseases are, and infectious diseases. So the cause is imbalances. We need everything, pulses, a little bit of salt. There's somebody who goes totally off salt or totally off dairy. So we need to work with them to find out if you move dairy out of a vegetarian diet. Dairy means milk and milk products, calcium. There's no way you get absorbable calcium in a vegetarian diet. Your kira has lots, ragi has lots, but it's designed in such a way that the way we cook it and the way we eat it, not only 50% of the calcium is absorbable. The rest of it goes down the body. In the name of losing weight, in the name of throwing out milk out of your diet, it's not very prudent what you're doing. So what are the regular servings? This is the latest ADA plate. They had pyramids, but nobody understood. So we hope the plate somebody would understand. So when we talk about it, we say half the plate, fill it with fruits and vegetables. If we ask anybody for a 4-member family, how much of vegetables and fruits do you buy? They'll say maybe quarter kilo, maybe 200 grams. And the same family, you ask them how much oil do you buy? They say maybe 3-4 liters a month, right? So we need to flip the numbers. We need to have per person almost quarter kilo of vegetable and fruit coming in for us to get so much in your plate. Half is whole grains, or if it's white rice, you need to increase your vegetable to increase your fiber, and 50% should be protein, and that is quarter. Quarter should be protein, quarter whole grains, and the dairy is also there. But most of us are not eating like this. We really need to think what we are doing. A lot of us do audits. We file our IT. Do we ever take an audit of what we are eating? Of the calorie audit, or protein audit, or fat audit, or vitamin audit, we never do. I think once in a way it's a good idea to do. What is it that we're eating? How much of what food are we buying? Are we spending more for cereals, or protein, or vegetables, or fruits, or for the junk food that comes into the house? So it's very important to think about that. Basically, we are saying you need to make some very good commitments to weight loss if you want it to happen. Use a lot of water, portion control is the way forward, and mindful eating. Regular exercise. There's nobody who's excused from not doing exercise. Thin or fat, old or young, everybody needs exercise. Adequate sleep, very, very important. 7 hours is the prescription. You really need to do it. Adhere to regular timings. That's very, very important, because if you eat basically 3 large meals, your breakfast, lunch and dinner, as sizes prescribed to you, and 2 snacks, I'll tell you what you can eat at 11 and 3, you're safe. You will not put on weight. Not only food, exercise is important, sleep is important, sunlight. 10 to 15 minutes exposure to sunlight. All we had to is stand under the sun for 15 minutes and we would get it. But today, we don't even see the sun for 5 minutes in a week. So this is the problem. So sunlight is important, exercise, de-stressing, food, sleep, everything is important. Thank you very much.